Crack out of the chaos.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Buggs Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
Another edition of the Roger Cador Show. Clarence Buggs along with the coach, Roger Cador. Coach, how are you, my friend?
Life is good.
Yes, sir, and gets better every single day. In recent memory, we have been blessed to have some really awesome individuals very freely give of their time to share information with us, particularly some movers and shakers in the game of baseball, a game that is near and dear, obviously, to your heart, to mine as well, as a baby boomer who very affectionately refers to the game as America's pastime. We start today's show with yet another heavy hitter, and if you would, Coach, be so kind as to give an introduction to our viewers to this week's show of who our guest is to start today's show.
Yeah, we have a young man with us today who did it the American way, in my opinion. He started out in volunteering and getting paid a lot of money. Every week he got zero. And he didn't quit, and he worked his way up. Now he's the developer management for Major League Baseball. We're talking about Tony Regan. I don't want to say too much. Tony, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Coach. How you doing, Clarence?
Doing well, Tony. Thank you for asking.
But you started out as a volunteer.
No, that's exactly right. Started as an intern with the Angels, and back in 1991, and I worked there for 2 years for no money. It was basically a volunteer position, a way to get your foot, quote unquote, in the door. And, that's how I went about it. I got that opportunity, was fortunate to be able to get the internship, and the rest is history.
Well, now you move up. You were able to get into the baseball side of baseball. Tell us how that came about.
Yeah, so as a part of that internship, I was really fortunate because Bill Bavasi was the farm director at that time, and they were just trying to figuring out a scouting system, a new scouting system, and at that time it looked like a oversized iPad, if you will. And so what we were doing was we were trying to put all of our scouting information, all of our player information into this quote unquote big iPad. It weighed about 2 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And so my job was to convert all of our paper information, all of our scouting reports on paper, and put that into this new scouting system. So that was my first baseball side job, was going to spring training and then transferring all that information into a digital form. Actually, when you think about it, was that we were kind of ahead of our time back in 1991 because it wasn't happening
Right.
in the industry. That at that time.
Yeah, and I tell you, and then you became, you worked in the scouting, and then tell us where you went from there, because there's a question I want to ask leading into that. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I worked in scouting and development on both sides. Basically, my job was I reported to both the farm director and the scouting director, and I think that was really an important time in my career in terms of baseball knowledge and really get deep in the game in terms of understanding players, what players, how players tick, writing scouting reports, evaluating players. And I learned from a lot of older veteran guys, Bob Clear and Hal Keller and Preston Gomez, Bob Fontaine. All these guys were really important in my development as a quote-unquote baseball guy. They taught me the ropes, and I went out every single day, whether it was a high school game, a college game, or a pro game. I went out every single day, and just worked on my craft and learned more about the game. And, I did that over the course of about 10 years. And, eventually got to, be the farm director and then the GM.
Yeah, it didn't happen overnight, which our young people today want everything to happen yesterday, you know what I'm saying? So it took you about 10 years to get from point A to point B. And then while you were the scouting farm director, were you the guy that got one of the premier players in the draft that's playing the game today? Were you the man that got him?
Well, no, that was in 2009. So I was the GM at that time.
You're general manager. You had a part in it, in getting Mike Trout.
Yeah, 2009. I was the general manager when we took Mike Trout. But I always tell the story like that happened. Us being able to get Mike, really started the year before. We had two picks in the 2009 draft back to back, and it was as a result of us not signing Francisco Rodriguez and not signing Mark Teixeira. Had we signed Mark Teixeira, we probably don't have Mike Trout at that time. So it all kind of worked together. It came together in the right way. A lot of teams passed on him because Mike was from the Northeast, and not a lot of clubs scouted it as deeply. The Northeast, because they don't play as much in the Northeast, and you don't get those deep looks at players. And Mike was, from the Northeast, and we were fortunate. We had a scout, an area scout, that had played with Mike's dad, and he knew Mike really, really well. So we felt good about taking him where we took him. And the tough part for us was, signing him. We just didn't know exactly what he wanted to sign for, but we knew he wanted to play. So we figured that part of it out, and he became an angel, and probably is the best player in the game. It's not number one. He's top two definitely in the game.
Yeah, he is. Then as the GM, you were able to haul in a big fish that you did it at a Taco Bell. Boy, that's an interesting story. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, the big fish was Corey Hunter. So that was the day before Thanksgiving. So if you know Southern California, the freeway there in Southern California, the 91 freeway is just before Thanksgiving. It's just traffic is it's jam packed, and so Corey's agent lived about an hour from where I live, and in traffic it'll probably taken us about 3 hours to get to drive that 1 hour. And so this Del Taco was halfway in between where I lived and where Corey's agent lived. And so we just said, hey, let's meet at the Del Taco, and if you're serious, and let's talk about getting a deal done. So we ended up meeting at the Del Taco, which is on the side of the 91 freeway, halfway in between Riverside and Yorba Linda, where I live. And we talked about an hour, and the agent got Tori on the phone, and right away, Tori and I hit it off, really well, and he was excited about, our interest in him coming to the Angels, and he wanted to be an Angel. And so we ended up getting the deal done relatively quickly, just before we actually got the deal done in probably about an hour and a half. But we didn't want to announce it. We wanted to save the announcement until Thanksgiving morning. So we didn't announce it until the following morning, Thanksgiving Day, and kind of wanted to make a big splash on Thanksgiving Day and let everybody know we don't sleep, we work, even on holidays. So,
That's right.
So we got that deal done pretty quickly. And, it was a 5-year deal, $90 million. And I think Torrey was worth every penny of it. He really did a great job for us while he was there in Anaheim.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to take away from what you're doing now, because you're doing really good work with what you're doing now for the commissioner's office, because you are cementing the future for baseball, for players to become Major League Baseball players. Because not only are you doing it for the Little League programs and what you call them, travel ball, you're also doing it for the young ladies. Whatever you do for baseball, you do it for softball. Can you talk to our audience about that?
No, thank you for asking. This is a really important piece of my job now. Obviously I spent a long time, 21 years, just over 21 years at the Angels, and ended up being the general manager. And that was really important. Your whole goal is to try to win a World Series when you're with a club. And, being at the commissioner's office, my whole goal is to get more kids interested in playing our sport, whether it be baseball or softball or girls baseball. So a lot of our programming is centered around just that, getting kids interested in playing the game and keeping them interested. And, there's a lot of options now. And one of the things you talked about, that self-gratification, is one of the things that, kids want. So they, right away, and they want things right now. And so, a lot of what our thinking is, hey, let's provide opportunities for those kids, whether it be formal play or informal play, but we just want them to be attracted to the game and let them see all that baseball and softball have to offer. And, we've been at it for about 5 years, and the game has continued to grow until the pandemic hit. Obviously, with the pandemic, it set us back a little bit, and we're trying to rebound. And hopefully this summer will be, an exciting part of the summer, so the kids can get back on the field and play a little bit more than they have in the last, 12 months.
I tell you, I laugh. I get to call you a lot because people call me thinking I can get money out of you for them to start programs. So you and I get to talk and laugh a lot because they feel, Coach could call Tony and he could make anything happen with getting money for their programs. When what in reality, what they don't know, Major League Baseball will work with them if they make an investment in their community. Put the thing in, and then you could come in and be an asset to them. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of programs around the country, and we're dealing with the entire country, and in some cases the world, and we want to help as many programs as we can. That's really point one. But it's the part, we believe in sweat equity in the game, and if there's situations where we can be of assistance and help you grow your program, sustain your program, we want to be a partner, an effective partner. But we just don't want to, give out dollars just for the sake of dollars. I mean, we can give out equipment, we can help out with training and resources. There's a lot of different ways that we could be an asset to a program that's just getting started, or a program that is kind of floundering, stabilizing that and helping financially if that's what it calls for. So it's more of a, and we're not, I should say this too, that we have other resources, we have other programs that funding is available. So we take a look at your program, evaluate it, and see how we can help it best.
Tony, when it comes to trying to nurture the growth of youth and amateur baseball, has the domestic market or the international market? Has either one been more receptive than the other? And if so, why do you think that is?
Yeah, I would say right now what we're experiencing here is a shift in a couple of ways. One, casual play versus core play. We're getting a lot of kids playing casually as opposed to core. When I say core, kind of like the traditional league play that we kind of grew up playing, the little leagues, the ponies, the Babe Ruths.
Right.
We're seeing a lot more kids play casually and doing a lot more showcase type of baseball. So you're seeing like a shift from traditional league play to more of a travel ball or travel ball showcase type of environment. Not all that is bad, though. The main thing is kids are interested in the game and that they're playing. The tough part about the travel ball circuit and the showcase piece is, the economics. The economics tend to not be accessible to everyone. So, our goal is to try to make baseball as affordable as we can and create opportunities to come up with programs that don't cost a lot of money, and that so the parents can afford to play our game and have access to it in a meaningful way. So that's really the two things that I see. In the domestic market, a lot more cap plays and a shift for travel ball. Those are the two things that jump out. Internationally, the game is they're continuing to play. And it's just about opportunity there. And it's our hope just to continue to create more access and more programs so the kids can take part. We're looking at some 3 different markets that we're really trying to grow in China, India, Mexico. Those are the 3 countries that we're really, honing in. Japan and the Dominican and Puerto Rico to a degree are stabilized, but Japan, India, China, and Mexico are the really 3 areas that we're trying to hone in internationally.
Back domestically, tell us a little bit, if you would, Tony, about the Breakthrough Series, particularly the RBI program, Reviving Baseball in Inner Cities.
Yep, 2 different programs. The RBI program is a league, similar to your Little League or your Babe Ruth League, and the Breakthrough Series is a program. So from the RBI program, we have about 200 leagues around the country. Reviving baseball in inner cities, and that's what it's designed to do, is to create opportunities at low cost to play league play, and then play in the RBI tournament. It's been around since 1989, I want to say, and for a program to be around that long, it has to be doing some good. We're continuing to try to tweak and create more opportunities, more affordable, provide grants and equipment for leagues that they have interest. So we're really excited about the RBI program. When I got there, we had about 60,000 kids in the program domestically, and just in 3.5 years, we grew it from 60,000 to 160,000. So
wow.
We want to continue to keep our foot on the gas in that way, creating the opportunities. We're reaching out to the Black church to really provide, to give those kids access to the RBI program. So we think that's going to be an effort that we can continue to grow on. And then when you talk about the Breakthrough Series, the Breakthrough Series is some of the best high school junior, seniors, in the country. Mostly being African American. We bring them to a location. Now we're going to Vero Beach. But we bring them to Vero Beach, and it's typically about 80 players. And we just give them an instructional league and type environment over 4 days. And they get access to mentoring, how to play the game fundamentally the right way. They're instructed by former major league players. And, the cool thing about it is it's cost-free. And we did an analysis of the Breakthrough Series over the last it's been around for about 10 years. So, during that analysis, we found that 96% of the players that have gone through the Breakthrough Series program have either gone into pro ball or gone into college ball. So, we're really excited about that number. 96% is a huge number, and it really speaks to the success of that program. So, thanks for asking about things that are both really, really important.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you, but I have to let you go because we're against the clock. But and I know you're busy. You got something else coming on in a couple of minutes. But there's a country you didn't mention, Brazil. Brazil is a country. I think there are a lot of kids playing baseball there. Do you all have any kind of things going on in Brazil?
We do, and that's a great point. Brazil is another country that, it's behind China, India, and Mexico, but Brazil is right there. We have an academy there that we partner with a local organization there, and we do some in-school programming. So baseball is a part of the school day in Brazil. So you're right, very important country. A lot of baseball being played there. I went to. It's difficult to move around in Brazil.
Yeah.
The traffic is horrendous.
Traffic, yeah. Yeah.
It's horrendous, but there is some baseball being played, and we definitely recognize that, and it's one of the things that we're going to continue to try to grow.
I'm going to mention another country in Colombia, especially the Caribbean coast of Colombia. A lot of baseball being played, and a lot of kids are making it to the big league coming from there. I had the opportunity 3 years ago to go and meet with some of the coaches there. So I know what's going on there, But
yes, Colombia and the other one, in Latin America is Curacao. Both of those countries are they're starting to develop some talent, and they're not big countries, per se. When you look at China or India, but the baseball talent there is really really exciting. So all programs all countries that we think are important, and we recognize that there's baseball being played and softball being played there.
That's right, yeah. Well, Tony, man, we appreciate you giving us such a vast amount of information. We know our listening audience will certainly appreciate it. And I tell you what, we want to have you return at another date, especially when the pandemic is over with, so you can give us an update, okay?
Oh, for sure. I appreciate you reaching out. I know if anything's going on down in Louisiana, I know you're at the forefront of it, and I appreciate the relationship. So thank you for having me.
All right, Tony, take care.
All right, Coach. Be well.
Bye.
Take care, Clarence.
You too, Tony. Thank you, sir. Coach, you got to tip your hat to Major League Baseball. You've mentioned on more than one occasion how Major League Baseball missed a golden opportunity earlier on to capitalize. But it seems like they have certainly realized this. They have owned up to this, and they're putting and have put mechanisms in place. Not that you could ever go back and change that, but it seems like they are doing their darndest to make up for it in some form or fashion.
I tell you, Bud Selig started it toward the end of his career as a commissioner, and fortunate I was able to be a part of that trend, what he was doing, just to be able to sit in there with owners, presidents, and the commissioner and talk about what they want to do with baseball. I'm pretty much familiar with everything they want to do. So Tony and I, that's why we're friends, because he calls me about things and we discuss, and that's the relationship we have. And I'm really proud to say that I will have a say-so in some of the things happen with baseball. Yeah. Not at the major league level, but certainly at the amateur level. We got things going on.
Listening to you and Tony talk just now, it stood out to me as you all started mentioning all these different countries that are really showing an interest in the game, are really developing athletes to excel in the game. What is it about the game of baseball that is so attractive, has that magnetism, that people want to be a part of it? Well, what is it about the game?
The family, Clarence. And in those countries, the grandparents and everybody are there. They're close-knit. It's bring families together.
Yeah.
I mean, and baseball allows families to have conversations.
Yeah, good point.
They can't do that in football.
Not
and
in football and basketball.
But
no.
baseball, they can talk. Their grandparents can talk to their little kid.
How was your day today, Susie?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many beautiful things that baseball does. And we've missed it to a degree in this country because we've veered so much to a more aggressive sport.
Yeah.
The best way to put it.
Yeah.
You know, we've gone to more
baseball
aggressive.
is a much more leisure activity. Yeah. All right. Well, we are past time for our first break. Marty has been awfully kind. He's not banging on stuff and throwing plates across the set. So we'll go ahead. He said that's next. We'll go ahead and get this break out of the way, and we will continue on with this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Looking to get some keys made, locks rekeyed, or a wide variety of new and used safe? Then look no further than the trusted choice of Alfred Safe and Lock. Conveniently located off of Government Street in Mid-City, Baton Rouge. Trust the expert locksmith at Alfred for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial lock and safe needs. Trusted by Baton Rouge and me, Roger Cador, to protect what is yours since 1946.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Cantea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Cantea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. It is, it's so insightful talking with all these major league executives as we've done over weeks past. It's when you were the skipper up on the bluff, and you've always, one thing that I've learned, if nothing else from you, is that life is all about, and success in life is all about relationships. When you first started interacting with these guys, did you have any idea that it would lead to where it's led?
No, because I didn't. The relationship was just about a relationship. Mm-hmm. We were just being friends.
Right.
That's really how it all started.
Right.
And having conversation, and one thing led to another, because pretty much in the circle, everybody knew everybody to a large extent.
Right.
And the common denominator is helping people. We all wanted to help someone, because we realized we got to a point because someone helped us.
Right.
And that was something that was never a missing factor.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do something to help the less fortunate.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and Clarence, I can't understand why people have gone away from that.
Yeah.
Because it's such a success mechanism, to be able to help people.
It's one thing, Coach, to say, I don't understand why people have gravitated away from helping other people. That, from an outsider's viewpoint, puts the impetus, the onus on those individuals. And it makes them look selfish. On the other side of that coin, however, are we to blame in that we haven't done as individuals a good enough job showing other people the benefits of helping others? Maybe that a good part of the reason why, as a society, we've become so selfish these days?
And I like the fact you say we. You didn't separate you and I from everyone else.
Right.
Because we're part of the problem.
Oh, yeah.
When we can't solve it, we're part of it.
Yeah.
You see, and
Yeah.
so we all have to try to do something to try to make, especially younger people, because they are the people that's going to take care of you and I and Marty.
Yeah.
Really, Marty, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is our duty to try and help them. But we've all been a little selfish in the system we live in.
Yeah.
And it hadn't been always for the best.
Yeah. There's a common thread that you reminded me of just now. When my late father and I fell out my sophomore year in college, and I moved out of the house. And I was working in the family business at the time and didn't realize it in that moment. Not only did I talk my way out of a roof over my head, I talked my way out of a job, which means I had to go find another job because I could no longer work in the family business. So like most of us did back then, I opened up the newspaper and I saw the local black radio station, WXOK, was looking for a DJ and a news person. By the time I got to the radio station, they had already hired the DJ. And the only position they had left was in the news department. And I guess the program director at the time figured, okay, this guy's got a brother in the business. He should know something.
Yeah, he should know something.
He ought to have a little bit of ability. So he auditioned me. And he told me, so sit down, take a seat, let me go back and listen to the audition tape, and I'll let you know when I come back. So as I'm sitting there on the couch in the lobby at WXOK on Cezanne Avenue, I'm talking to God because I need a job.
You talking to God?
I'm talking to God. Me and God having a come to Jesus, Coach.
Oh, my goodness.
And at that moment, I told God, I said, God, if you bless me with this job, because I need a job, I got bills to pay now, I'm on my own. If you bless me with this job, I give you my word for the rest of my professional life, I will do everything within my power to help any other young person that wants to get into this business. And to this day, I can rattle off a string of folks. As a matter of fact, one of them has a show on this channel that was just walking down the hall at Guarantee Broadcasting one day, introduced herself to me and says, I'm scared to death. I don't know anything about radio. I said, well, look, whenever you get time, come and sit in on my show. I'll teach you everything you need to know.
You'll teach him the trick.
I'll teach you everything you need to know. And that's a symptom that you point out. We've become so selfish in society. We've got to do a better job of teaching younger people and others that are trying to make their way in life that it's to your benefit to help somebody else.
Well, the Bible says it. When it's in your power to do what is right to someone, you should do it. It's beneficial.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that for some reason. But so we need to just make sure we continue to reach out and help the young people because they are our future.
Yeah.
And we could change this thing around if we just don't give up on them.
Yeah.
We really can't give up on them.
No, because they're the future.
They're the future. And I remember so many times in my coaching career when people say, give up on that person.
Right.
I said, where will he go? Where is he going to go if I give up on him?
Yeah. Yeah.
And keeping them around, and these guys now are head of household, fathers, doing well, being a taxpayer.
Yeah.
That's why you can't give up.
A taxpayer instead of a tax drainer.
There you go.
Yep. When we come back, another special guest. This one is a little bit closer to home. We will spend some time with the guy, speaking of a hard worker that has honed his craft and expanded horizons, not only in this state, but at last count, I want to say 16 or 17 states as well. That's coming up next as we continue week 12, I think now. Man, this time is just flying by of the Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Surprise, something good has finally happened in 2020. Yours truly, the Clarence Bugg Show, gets to be with you every day of the week. That's right, 11 to 12 every weekday. And of course, the Exiles right in front of yours truly from 10 to 11, yours truly 11 to 12. So now it's appointment viewing. 5 days a week here on the Pelican. The Clarence Bugg Show. The only thing missing is you.
Break out of the chaos.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. We are so very fortunate to have join us for this particular segment. And I was chuckling just now because this guy is one that normally makes people sweat. They are the ones that when they find out, oh my God, he's got the camera on me, they're going to be trying to produce this, that, and the other, people start sweating. Well, we finally get to turn the tables a little bit today. He gets to be the one that sweats on the other end of the conversation. Coach, if you would be so kind as to introduce our distinguished guest for this segment.
Yeah, my friend is people in South Louisiana and, well, in 16 or 19 states get to see his work, but you never get to see him. Mm-hmm. He put together the staff, and he put together all the talent. We're talking about Jeff Brenner, worked with Cox Sports Television.
The executive producer.
Mm-hmm. How are you, Jeff?
I'm doing well. How about you guys today?
We're doing
well.
Good. I'm not going to be too tough on you, Jeff. We're going to let you slide a little because you're a good man, okay?
I appreciate it, as you are as well.
Well, listen, we know that. Can you tell the listening audience what goes into you putting together a team to do a telecast?
Well, it's funny that you say that because we've been quiet for almost a year now with COVID-19 and just starting to come out of it and starting up with some Southland football games. And what it takes is just you've got to be able to have enough crew to be doing everything, cameras, graphics, audio, it takes a crew about a 30 crew members to put on a game, and that includes announcers, and everybody has a different role, and some of them are very specific, and others are, jacks of all trades, but, it all comes together with everybody doing individual jobs to put on a great production.
And Jeff, the thing is, fans take for granted when they flip that TV on, they see everything. They think that it really comes together that easy. But it takes, on the day of the game, it takes hours of preparation. Can you talk a little bit about that phase of it?
Absolutely. When we roll our small TV truck out to an event, Walter Volpatti, who's our truck driver / engineer / director, he's out there 7 to 8 hours before game time. And then the crew just gets there right around 6 hours. And at that point, you don't stop until after game. You're running cables to camera positions, audio positions, headsets, microphones, everywhere. And that's just to get on the air. And then once you get onto the air, you could be in a 3-hour game where, you don't move. You stay where you are, and you don't have a chance to breathe. And then, as you're well aware, Coach, doing baseball for all those years,
yes,
you get a rain delay, you're sitting there, and so what turns into an 8, 9, 10-hour day could go into 13, 14 hours of just trying to get a broadcast on the air. So it's a long, long day, but everybody does a really good job and works together. Sometimes it gets real close to getting on air, and sometimes you got a little bit of breathing room. We've gone both ways.
Oh yeah, the one thing that people do get to see and hear are the people in the booth, and the beautiful thing about those people is that in the game of baseball specifically, baseball is a game where not only you have to broadcast the game, but you have to be a storyteller, in my opinion, because it allows opportunity for you to interject stories associated with maybe something that happened or something that could happen. Would you elaborate on that?
Yeah, you're very true. It is the game that it breathes so well for the storytelling, a conversation. So, having talent that knows each other, knows the program, just makes it so much more enjoyable to watch a game. You listen to a Lynn Rollins, Ronnie Rance broadcast. They've been there together. They can get through a telecast, and you could have a real close game, and you don't get into the stories or the storylines. But then if you've got a 10-1 game or a 14-0 game, that's where you're going to need that information that you can bring the viewers closer to the players, to the program, to baseball in general. And I want to give you credit, Coach, because you were one of the first coaches who understood the importance of television. So, from my standpoint, you allowed us to go even further into your program and bring the viewer closer. And by doing that, you allowed us to mic you during games. First, it just started with, we'll just keep a mic on you, and every so often we'll bring it up to hear what you're saying. But then as you got comfortable with us, you allowed us to put a headset on you and talk to you during the game to get the emotion, to get what you're going through and what you're thinking through a game. And then, but what that does, it's giving you more information on the players. It's hyping the players up, and that's what the television is there for. It's to give the program a boost. But you understood that hey, I'm going to do everything physically possible that I can allow my announcers or this team to shine. I mean, you were the first group that ever allowed us to call a game in the dugout. And what I remember most about that was one of the kids hit a home run. He comes in, he immediately goes over to the table and is talking to the announcers about what he saw, how, what he was the whole expectation. So it was just a whole different level of broadcast that you were able to bring to Southern and to CST. So I've got to commend you on allowing us to do all those different fun things with your program.
Well, Jeff, I was always thinking about promotion promoting baseball. I knew I was at a disadvantage at Southern when it comes to equality, and I didn't want to use that as a crutch, and I was looking for ways to bring us up to standard where people, we had a product that people wanted to talk about, wanted to hear. And when you all came and mentioned it, I thought about, I'm back in the Negro League. This is what they would have done back in the Negro League. They would have loved to promote their product. You got me? And you allowed me. Once you gave me that platform, it was all over, because I knew then that first you were trying to do something to promote baseball beyond just playing it on the field. There was something more that the fans needed to know and see and hear, and then draw that interest. So this is why we got to have people like you. You got to find someone like me, but you had to think about it. You know, you weren't afraid to say, let's put this mic on, this headphone, let's talk. So it really worked.
And you'd be surprised at how, I mean, obviously coaches are very, very nervous about
I know.
what can be heard, what can be said. I can tell you another one of the stories that I remember vividly with you is you're having a conversation back and forth with the announcers. Your pitcher starts to get roughed up, and as you're still talking, all of a sudden you pull the headset and you go, hold on, guys, I got to go pull the pitcher. I'll be right back. Puts the headset down, goes right outside to the pitching mound and pulls your pitcher. So, you know, those are the moments that, you know, what do I remember most? Those are the ones I remember. It's something different, and it's great.
It is great, because now that listening audience at home now is in the game with me. He's seeing exactly real time what is going on. You know what I'm saying? And they weren't going to get that anywhere else. They weren't going to get that anywhere else. And the one thing is, I never wanted to be afraid that I was going to fail, because what I felt I was doing was always going to be a winner, because people were going to remember it. And you know what? I had some kids. This was the only time they were going to get to be on TV, and they were going to love it, you know?
Right, but there also has to be trust. You have to trust us that we're not going to make you or the program look bad, and vice versa. You're not going to go out there and say something that, you know, I'm going to get in trouble for, but it works out really well.
Finally, Jeff, what's the most rewarding aspect of your job?
You know, for me, it's bringing quality programming of the kids, whether or not it's college or high school, to the viewers of our channel. You know, when I'm asked that question, it's just, I want to be able to bring and give someone 2 hours, 3 hours, or if it's a post-game show, an hour of just taking your mind off of what we do every day, and hey, you can see someone else doing it. So, like, you know, if we have a beach volleyball tournament over at LSU this weekend, you know, here's 3, 4, 5 hours of just something different to take your mind off of, you know, everybody. We're still stuck home for COVID-19. You know, it's almost a year since we went into hibernation, kind of, to say. But, you know, to be able to make the kids shine, make the program shine, and to give the viewers some relief of their everyday life is what brings the joy to me.
Well, Jeff, we know your time is valuable. We certainly appreciate. I could talk to you all day. See, you know, you and Clarence only want to do 8 to 10 minutes. I want to do a lot longer than that. Okay,
Coach, you could talk to anybody all day. Okay?
You know him, Jeff. You know him.
But listen, we'll be talking, and thanks for coming on. Okay.
Not a problem. Anytime. It's great talking to you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Jeff. Take care. Stay safe.
Thank you, Clarence. Bye-bye.
The executive producer for Scott Cox Sports Television. Say that 3 times in a hurry, and you'll see just how tough it is. We are still going to talk a little bit of college football. Jaguars pick up a big win in conference play. We'll talk about that and more when we come back with more of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Looking to get some keys made, locks rekeyed, or a wide variety of new and used safe? Then look no further than the trusted choice of Alfred Safe and Lock. Conveniently located off of Government Street in Mid-City, Baton Rouge. Trust the expert locksmith at Alfred for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial lock and safe needs. Trusted by Baton Rouge and me, Roger Cador, to protect what is yours since 1946.
Surprise, something good has finally happened in 2020. Yours truly, the Clarence Bugg Show, gets to be with you every day of the week. That's right, 11 to 12 every weekday. And of course, the Exiles right in front of yours truly from 10 to 11, yours truly 11 to 12. So now it's appointment viewing. 5 days a week here on the Pelican. The Clarence Bugg Show. The only thing missing is you.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to the final segment of this week's edition of the Roger Cador Show. Jaguars finally get to kick off and play some football. A big win over Alabama State, last second win, 24-21. How relieved do you think that team was, Coach, to finally get a kickoff underway?
Well, I'm sure they were excited because, they waited a long time.
Yeah.
And, they bypassed the traditional fall season of playing in February.
Uh-huh.
I really like that to a large extent.
Mm-hmm.
I would maybe look at starting their fall season 1 month later, maybe.
Right.
I think that'll give them month of April, May, June, July, August to recover.
Right.
And then, and it may be a good thing where you only play 8 games. Maybe you play your conference schedule. I think until you can get back in the real thing, then 2022, you can go back to regularity. So I think there's some thinking needs to be put into it.
And I'm sure Dawson Odoms would probably agree because, we talked about one of the objections that some of the coaches have with Alcorn opting out. Their legs are going to be a lot fresher, and they're probably not going to have the injury situation that those that did play. If you were not so happy with the commissioner of the SWAC, I might be promoting you for that job, coming up with that kind of stuff, man.
Well, I don't know. That's my friend. And, I'm somewhat more valuable as an asset outside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I love moving around, and I don't want to be stuck in one place. So, my value is that get out and meet people and talk to them and travel the world.
Wait, you like to meet people?
Yeah.
You like
didn't
to talk
know that?
to people?
Alan and Marty, yes.
Jonathan, Katie.
Katie.
Yeah.
You're the one.
Yeah. Well, we have highlights from week 1 of the Southwestern Athletic Conference Series. So we'll roll the highlights as we continue our conversation. I can only imagine what was going through the minds of the young men as it was getting ready for kickoff. I mean, I can't imagine your whole life up to this point has been built around certain times of the year.
Yes.
You have your practice session, you go through the hot, humid summer, getting ready, and then come fall, you kick off, and you're thankful for the cool weather. But this is a whole different ball game all the way around.
I agree with you. I mean, it requires adjustment. I mean, it's going to, but you know what? because of the weather is going to be more cooler, their bodies should be able to endure a little better.
Yeah.
You got me?
Yeah.
You know, something about heat, it forces you to expand the body. Now everything will be a lot better. So I'm happy to see that, and I'll be looking forward to see how they come out of it.
Now, ironically, you mentioned that. I was watching the Big Sky Conference this weekend. I think they televised 3 of their games. And in 2 of the 3 games, they were really suffering from cramps. And I'm wondering how much of that was because they had not worked out in the summer, getting their bodies acclimated to game-like conditions. I mean, here in the deep South, when you go out that summer and you're working out, getting ready for the fall, your body becomes acclimated to an entirely different degree. But I mean, these guys were dropping like flies in the Big Sky Conference.
Were they playing indoors in the indoor facility?
They were in indoor facilities.
That's, and maybe they hadn't trained as much.
Yeah.
So I really don't know, but that's an interesting scenario you brought up.
From a coaching standpoint, how difficult do you think it was to completely change the entire routine? We talked about the young men. They have a mindset of, okay, this summer, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm gearing in anticipation of the fall. When the fall is over, it'll be the holidays, et cetera, et cetera. How difficult is all of this from a coaching standpoint to turn the whole world upside down?
Well, I think it's probably easier for the coaches, more difficult for the players. The coaches are coaching. The players are the one have to make their body do the adjustment.
Right.
Go through whatever it is so their bodies can adjust to the conditions. So,
but you still have to keep them in the right frame of mind.
Yeah, the coaching is more mental than physical.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but, they have to keep them right.
Yeah. Well, if you are planning on seeing the Jaguars live, unless you are going up to Shreveport for the Bayou Classic, then you are going to have to be in Mumford Stadium this weekend as the Golden Lions of the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff come a-calling, because with Alcorn State opting out, that means the Jaguars will only have 1 home game for the spring football season. Either that, or you can just bide your time, get your COVID vaccine, and we'll see you up on the bluff come the fall. That is going to do it for another edition of the Roger Cador Show. We are so very thankful and grateful that you have allowed us into your homes and into your hearts. On behalf of the entire crew, Alan, Jonathan, Marty, and the coach, I'm Clarence Buggs. We'll see you next week with another edition of the Roger Cador Show. Till then, go Jags.